Hey, what's up guys? I'm PTC. Bastion has a complete redesign over on the PTR, so I went ahead and tested everything that they changed about him, and what I'm going to show you is I'm going to compare all of his current stuff on the live servers versus everything that has changed on the PTR. So the first thing we're going to look at is his configuration Recon. Bullet spread was decreased by 25%, magazine size was increased from 20 to 25. Now, for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going full auto so that you can better see the spread, but in actual gameplay, you would want to burst fire a lot more, and because of that, your shots are going to be way more accurate. Alright, next up, we're going into Configuration Sentry. Deploy time was decreased from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. This means that Bastion can run around and then quickly change into the Sentry mode to destroy a tank or a barrier extremely fast, then quickly switch back into Recon mode and continue on. Now, Sentry mode did get some pretty significant nerfs. Bullet spread was increased by 50% and is always set to maximum, meaning it is no longer going to start out accurate and then become more and more less accurate the more you fire. Now it's always going to be inaccurate, and it's got that huge spread on it. And the further back you get, the worse and worse it gets. Now, this means that the smaller targets are going to be a lot harder for you to hit in Sentry mode, because the new Sentry mode is designed specifically to fight tanks and destroy barriers. Magazine size was increased from 200 to 300, however, headshot damage was removed and you can no longer do any critical hits. Overall, these changes makes it so that Bastion does significantly less damage at longer range and to the smaller targets. Again, you're supposed to be attacking the tanks and the barriers whenever you're in the Sentry mode. Self-repair. This can now be used while moving, and it is instead bound to your secondary fire, which is your mouse 2. It can no longer be interrupted by taking damage, and as you'll see on the screen, there's a new resource meter that has been added, and this will slowly go down as you use up the ability, and when you stop using it, it will recharge. His last configuration mode, which is the tank, his ultimate, no longer grants bonus armor. You used to get 150 extra armor, you no longer get that. Another huge change that they made to Bastion is that he has a brand new passive called Ironclad. Bastion takes 35% less damage while in Sentry or tank configuration. So you might be wondering, how does Ironclad work with armor? Well, as it turns out, anytime Bastion takes damage, the Ironclad reduction will happen first, and then the armor reduction will happen right after it. This order works out a lot better for Bastion because it means he takes a lot less damage. So the way it works is a damaging shot from Soldier does 20 damage, reduce that by 35% and it brings it down to 13, and then remove 5 for armor, and you have the result, which is only 8 damage to Bastion. Let's quickly look at how it would have worked if they had done it the other way. So that 20 damage shot gets reduced by 5 for armor, which brings it down to 15. 35% of 15 is 5.25, so reduce that, and you would end up with a damaging shot that does 9.75. So again, by doing the Ironclad reduction first, Bastion takes a lot less damage. There is one last thing that wasn't actually mentioned in the patch notes. On the old version, when Bastion would switch into a different mode, he would automatically reload the previous mode's gun. So if you were in Recon and you fire a bunch of bullets and then you switch to Sentry and then you quickly switch back to Recon, the Recon gun would be full of ammo. They're not doing that anymore. Now, when you switch out, you actually have to wait the full reload time before it will reload the previous gun. So just like how Torbjorn and Mercy work, you now have to wait that time. And for Bastion, it's 2 full seconds. So if you shoot a bunch of bullets in Recon, you switch to Sentry. If you wait at least 2 seconds, then the Recon gun will be fully reloaded again. And the reverse is true for the Sentry mode gun as well. Alright, so that is all the changes. I really like what they're doing with Bastion. The numbers might need to be tweaked a little bit because he might be a little too strong, but the fact that they're kind of pushing him more towards Recon mode and away from Sentry mode, I think is going to make the character much better for a lot of people. For the casual player, it means that he's going to be easier to deal with when you have one on the enemy team, and for the higher skill player, it means that Bastion will be more viable. Actually, if the numbers go through the way they are right now, I think Bastion could actually compete, or maybe even replace Soldier 76 in the higher skill brackets. I don't know, I need to play around with him and test a lot more. But anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about all of these changes. Give your feedback down in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos, and hit that bell so you get notified. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.